I want it to be what the other traders were, right? Like, hey, this person is doing that and they're making a killing, and this person's doing that and they're making a killing. And that just doesn't work with me. And I have kids. I don't even know if you can hear it right now, but there's a piano going off in the background. And, the kids have their own needs, right? As they get older, they have to go to school. And with those things, you start to have these different decisions you have to make on what schools are they going to go to. Do we like the local schools? We opted for private school that just happens to be a 35-minute ride each way. So now on top of the job and the wife and the kids, we also have to shuffle them off to school. We have to pick them up. I have to be there for meetings. I'm still trying to watch the market. And so it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. And I'm still pulling that together. There are definitely some setups that make more sense to me on the small cap side. And lately, I've been trading more on the ETFs, primarily SPY, and then some large cap options because they give a little bit more leniency in terms of when I have to be at the desk and the things that I'm looking for work within that time frame.
One of the questions that I had for you, Jeremy, is do you believe that there's certain things that you've experienced having all of these other adult responsibilities that sort of help you put trading into a larger perspective or even help you in some ways navigate the markets?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it even goes the other way where trading has put those things in perspective, right? So when you look at a trade and you're just gung ho and you're just jumping into it, that can show a lack of patience. And what I found is that that lack of patience that I kind of see within myself in those scenarios can actually translate to other scenarios with my kids, right? So like you're at the open and then, oh my goodness, this setup's going to be amazing, smash, right? But your system doesn't say to smash the button right way. It says look for X, Y, Z, and then wait. But because you lack that patience, you just go in and then you find yourself in a tight spot. I feel like sometimes that can, be the same with family stuff where if I'm not patient and I'm not aware of the scenario, I just jump all in and it's like, wait, wait, wait. I need to kind of step back, assess the situation, see what's going on, and then, address it. Wait for the proper opportunity to do whatever it is, whether it's, reprimanding a kid or, saying congratulations, surprising them, like it can go both ways. Um, but yeah, I think having the kids and the wife definitely makes me a little bit more risk averse as well. I think when you're younger and you don't have as many people depending on you, it's a little bit easier to just kind of swing for the fence, right? And if you blow up, you blow up. It's no big deal. But for me, I personally have a mother that's aging. That's like I took up trading to help take care of those expenses that are adding on. So when I have that, I have kids that are in school. I have my wife. I'm still working a job, right? But I want to make sure that all this other stuff is taken care of. I'm a little bit more on the tight side with risk, and that can be for me a little detrimental at times because if I'm not patient, then I chop myself up, right? So I did have some times where I came close to blowing up just because of like terrible position size and then jumping in and praying and wishing and I feel like almost everybody goes through that, but that's not typically where I find myself in the drawdown now. Now it's like, okay, because I'm risk averse, I will get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. Small losses add up, and so I have to be aware of those situations. So it's a lot of self introspection and just trying to make sure I'm balanced on all the sides.
You brought up something that I wanted to touch on, which is setups, whether it's opening drive setups. How would you define your setup and your trading niche today? Do you trade primarily stocks and equities? Is it options, crypto? And has that changed over time?
Um, So I haven't done crypto in a while. After that whole Dogecoin run up, I sold right before the SNL thing, and I haven't touched it since. That was pretty nice. Um, Now, in regards to the setups that I'm looking for on the equity side, it kind of depends, right? So my kids are getting older. Like I mentioned earlier, I have to take them to school sometimes, or I have to, my daughter that's here, my wife takes me to school, but then she needs stuff. So I'm looking for setups that kind of fit within a certain time frame, right? And so I do a lot of data wrangling, and I try and find those things that fit within that set of parameters, right? Like I used to be, but 2020, everybody was home, school was kind of off for a couple of weeks. It's fantastic, I could do whatever. But now it's like, all right, well, I know a diaper is going to need to be changed here. I'm going to have a meeting with someone in India over here. A VP may call at this point. I have to leave this meeting. And so I have to be very specific in terms of the things that I'm looking for. And so it just kind of, it's been evolving as life evolves, right? Like as my responsibilities and as the variability of the people around me kind of change, that's where I find myself constantly kind of tweaking what I'm looking for.